Hello and welcome to Audiotree Live, the place for you to discover your next favorite band. My name is Jason, and today is Wednesday, July 9th. And now, a band that mixes the technicality of math rock with the sensibility of modern progressive metal in a way where you'll never be able to predict what's coming next. Chicago's very own Snooze. Take it away, fellas. Hey guys, this has always been something strange for us here at Audiotree. Over 88% of you who watch our videos are not subscribed to our YouTube channel, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. So could we please ask you a favor? If you like this show and you like discovering new music and you want to support us, the free and simple way to do that is to just hit the subscribe button. And our commitment to you is that if you do that, our team will continue to get the best bands we can. We'll listen to your feedback. We'll book the bands you want to see on the show, and we'll continue spreading the word of live music to the world. Thank you so much. That was Overheard from the Void by Snooze. That was crazy, guys. I literally, it's sticking to the intro here, I did not know what to expect hearing these songs. And every single part that came definitely threw me off, but in the best of ways. So from my understanding, you guys are about to embark tonight on the first day of, well, the second day technically, but your first day, yes, on the Cool S Tour with Secret Gardens and Stereosity.
Yes.
I have to say, that S is indeed very cool.
There are many S's, and they're all cool as hell.
This might be the coolest one, though, if you really think about it. And to my audience viewers who might not know about this cool S, go on the Snooze Instagram page right now. Find somebody in their mid to late 30s that you know probably likes Blink-182. Show them that S, and they'll tell you what's up. So
they will immediately. Yeah, they will be transported to a different time.
I can't tell you how many times I've tried to draw it out perfectly. Sometimes I still get stumped, so. So Snooze, to me, has to be one of the most eclectic heavy bands we have here in Chicago. You guys combine so many different styles of music, right? We can hear the heavy stuff, hear some happy stuff, hear a little bit of emo stuff. Tell me, when this band was conceptualized, when you guys decided you wanted to do Snooze, what was kind of the mission statement as far as the music goes?
I think, honestly, at the time, me and our old bass player, Cameron, we were in another band that was kind of the same thing, but, you know, we wanted to keep doing it. And even the early stuff, it was a lot lighter, a lot more noodly, and a lot more aligned with more of the math rock vibe. But I kind of always wanted to do this, so when Alex and Mike and Dimitri joined, and our other old bass player, Andy, it unlocked the ability to kind of play heavier and crazier stuff. And now, Alex just plays all the hard stuff all the time. And he loves it. Right?
He gets all the hard
stuff. I love it.
I don't even know how you remember it, dude. I don't know how you remember that many parts for a single song.
I fucked up in there, so.
Well, guess what? I could not tell. I'll tell you that much. Guarantee our audience probably can't tell either.
That's the secret. That's the other cool.
So I don't.
That's so funny. So that makes sense. Would you guys say that the heavy, what maybe wanted to make you guys kind of steer into a little bit more of a heavy direction? Do you think it was just the musicianship of the guys that have joined the band since the inception, or was it more of just sort of an influence that kind of comes in with the newer members?
Yeah, I think the latter. I think I always, even the band I was just talking about, Deer Legs, it still had like these little breakdowny type bits and stuff that I always wanted to do. It's just the best. It's the best aural sensation for me, is just like a really chunky, fun breakdown with a little bit of rhythmic swag. But it definitely was made easier with all of our influences kind of combined to, make it what it is now.
It's a little funny because like when I joined, it was 2020, heart of the pandemic. And I was like, oh, Snooze is like my favorite noodly math rock band. I want to do noodly math rock. And then he's like, all right, learn this stuff. And he sends me
also, he never played
stuff.
With the pick before.
And I'm like, what?
You never played with the pick before this
right
band.
But yeah, I just like hunkered down and did the thing. And now we're heavy. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Now we're even more annoying.
Yeah.
Even more annoying.
I would argue that it's more cool than annoying, but that's
awesome.
me.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, more awesome, obviously. Awesomer. So, you guys have a ton of music out. We got a full length. We got an EP. We got plenty of singles. You guys are a very prolific band. What is the songwriting process like? It's for such complex music, but yet being able to release stuff at such a pretty fair pace, I'd say.
So that's mostly Logan.
Yeah, I'll basically just like have a riff and program the drums kind of live and just like get something out. Like a lot of the clips on our Instagram, those are just like, oh, I just did this today. And eventually when it comes to like, oh, let's start to like get an album together, I'll take like a lot of these disparate riffs and kind of connect them. And a lot of, the last album, I Know How You Will Die, there's like a ton of transitions from like this key to this key, and like all of those have to be kind of meticulously like iterative. It's very iterative. It's very annoying. It's, I'm sure my roommate is just like, upset, but yeah, it's very iterative. It's very, but it starts out very just like inspired, like, oh, this riff sounds cool, so I'll just keep it forever until I do something with it. But yeah, just connecting a bunch of stuff, and yeah.
And he'll pretty much just send it to us and be like, do your thing.
Here you go. Yeah.
Nice. Makes a lot of sense. So one thing I kept seeing when I did my research on this band was this use of the term happy to describe a lot of your music, or in different places to describe your music. And I feel like now we live in this culture where sadness is really kind of the emotion that we see with a lot of popular music, even outside of heavy music. Tell me about this angle of happiness that you guys have.
Yeah, so like I mostly, because if you look at the lyrics, it's a little bit what you were saying, very melancholic, but it mostly just is talking about like, the tonic structure of the way that I use a lot of the one, like the major one, and just like fours and fives, like very like, very major, very like bombastic, but still it resolves to one a ton. And I think that it's just kind of like a shorthand that I was using kind of in the old iterations of the band, that it was a good shorthand to kind of like cut to like, I guess, a good general description of how it sounds, even if it's not like, like woohoo.
It kind of still tracks though, because it's like it's happy riffing and then like heavy lyricism. Like letting that
nice
emotion
juxtaposition there.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty cool.
Thank you.
Well, fellas, let's hear another one.
Okay. Have you begun?
That was What's the Secret Ingredient of a Toy Lot by Snooze. Now, guys, I have a very, very important question to ask everybody in the band right now. I'd love to go around the room and hear everybody's answers. But let me put you in a little bit of a hypothetical situation here, okay? It's 5:30 in the morning. You agreed maybe 2 days ago to pick up your favorite uncle, your least favorite uncle. I guess, you know what? Any family member. I just got uncles on the brain today. But you agreed to pick them up at O'Hare Airport. Your alarm wakes you up at 5:30 in the morning to get up and go. How many times are each of you hitting the snooze button on your alarm before you actually get up and go?
Oh. I'm looking at Dimitri.
Me, I'm like up already and getting. I'm not hitting the snooze button. I'm like in panic mode.
Same. I would already be up. My cats would be tearing me to shreds because it is fourth meal time. You know, big Taco Bell fans, butter and wiener. For you.
If I'm not, unless I have to go to work, I'm never pressing the snooze button.
Wow. Okay.
Just stop alarm entirely.
Just sleep through it.
No.
Oh, I have to hit the snooze button at least like 2 times in the morning.
Yeah,
But
he said it.
I'm preemptive.
He
Said the word. You said the word.
Yeah.
All right, good balance. So some of you guys can wake up and get right to it. Some of you guys need to hit that snooze button. I will be honest, I probably would have hit it 5 or 6 times myself. My uncle could wait as long as he needs to, especially if you're making a trip to O'Hare.
Yeah. Take the blue line.
Right,
You know?
why not?
Sorry,
Come
I got stuck in traffic, man.
Oh,
So
sorry.
sorry.
You should
All
have
right.
taken the blue line.
This April saw the release of your album, I Know How You Will Die. And pretty striking title, if I do say so myself. And this is kind of a 2-parter. So number 1, how am I going to die? You guys
Death
know?
by rocking.
How do you want to
Yeah.
die?
Yeah, how...
Death by
We can make
Rocking
something
does
happen.
sound cool. Death by Rocking sounds cool. I kind of like the idea of walking on the street, though, and a big anvil or piano coming down from like the 8th story.
classic.
Just,
That'd be
yeah,
hilarious.
right? And then I
Looney
like get
Tunes
up and
style.
all the piano keys are in my teeth and I'm smiling. That would be really cool.
And then you die.
Yeah, and then I die. Then I'm happy enough to die. So tell me about...
Jason. Killed by a piano.
Yeah, pretty cool obituary, though, I would say. So
Really sick, but really sad.
tell me about this album title. Tell me about this album. I want to know everything.
So, I originally had kind of a different concept for it, but it kind of touches on, you know, my friend Cameron, who I was talking about earlier, passing away, and songs I've written about dream. Like, you know, one of the singles is called "Without," which was about a dream I had about him where he was alive, and just kind of, dwelling on loss and my other friends, you know, who have, and my own mental health and dealing with kind of, you know, a kind of suicidal ideation type vibe, and the questions that one asks people you've lost when thinking about that said thing, and like. Just kind of the title, and it's many conversations with myself and forgiving myself. Like there's a lot of shit in there, but you know, it's kind of dwelling on the thoughts of just like, you know, terminal illness and very fun and normal things. But yeah, it's a heavy concept, and you got heavier with the release, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I
We're
think
really
that's,
selling that we're a happy band.
Yeah.
I think it's like that's always the funny thing is like when you like there's a contrast sometimes with the actual like music that you're hearing, where it's like even something like Without, the single he was talking about, it's like it's a really kind of heavy like emotional song, but like instrumentally it's just this kind of like upbeat sort of tappy thing for a lot of it. And I don't know, I think there's something very interesting there about like contrasting emotions and like helping you kind of work through those sorts of emotions.
Absolutely. And that is a very interesting juxtaposition, right? You have upbeat music with very contemplative lyrics, maybe on a very serious topic like you guys are talking about. Did you find when you were writing this album and kind of coming up with the concept and getting those thoughts out, how was that process for you on a personal level?
I mean, the album wraps up with kind of me talking to myself about a lot of the things that I've dealt with mentally and, you know, with loss and everything. But it wraps up in a very cathartic way where at the point in my life that I wrote the last song, there's one more song after it, but the last like song is called Wondered. And like, you know, it's kind of, me forgiving myself for kind of robbing me of years of happiness by being so sad. But, you know, but also like, I get it type shit. But yeah, it was cathartic. It was like, you know, I'm the type of writer where it's like, it has to like hit somehow either emotionally or just like, this riff is awesome. So I usually just kind of get to that point. And then I'm like, okay, this is painful. Ship it, you know. But yeah, it was a very cathartic process, especially when it was done. I was like, thank fucking God. It took so, you know. It's funny, like, I don't know. For me, I felt like it took forever. But
he was working on it when I joined the band in 2020.
2020, yeah. So, and we had the choir recorded in August of
2 years ago?
2023.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's been a long process. It felt really nice to get it all done. But
I wanted to bring that up about the choir because when I was looking at the album credits, not only is it like, I don't know how many people are in that choir, quite a lot, but you also have all these people playing these auxiliary musicians, like, you know, instruments like a banjo. I read something about, what was it called? A euphonium? I didn't even know what that was. I had to look it up. So, like, what was it like to kind of wrangle all of these people to work on the record? Was it difficult?
Not really. I mean, it's funny also, just quick, that you say that about the euphonium. Basically the process was, hey, anyone want to do this? And then anyone who did, it was like, I play Ferulia, this Hungarian traditional flute that, you know, like,
right.
I was like, okay, sure. And it was mostly just like writing a part for the range of that instrument. And I'm like, I could probably fit in here. And basically anywhere I could take, like, any, like, I usually use, like, a Juno DI for, like, you know, paddy stuff. Anywhere that I could replace that, I was just like, oh, yeah, we'll throw something in there. And it's funny you say that about the euphonium because I also had to look that up. I was like, what is that? Oh, it's like small tuba, I guess.
Right. It's a cooler name than what you expect it to be. Like,
I was like, that sounds like a turret brand.
Right. I imagine like a fourth dimension instrument. It's like,
it might be.
Let me create an image for you with my euphonium.
Yeah.
Yeah. The benefit of being in like a math rock band is that like our scene is filled with these beautiful music nerds
everyone is
that just like
so good.
play such cool instruments and like they come out of the woodwork and they want to work on stuff. It's really strange and awesome and crazy.
Really it's a testament to the community that Logan's spent so much time building, just with Snooze existing in all of its different iterations, and just the warm and welcoming person that he has existed as in this community. And I feel like everyone was just really excited to help him bring this album into something greater than any of us could have imagined.
Yeah, can we keep going? I want to see Logan cry on Audiotree.
Please do not. Please don't do that.
Shut up, he's on to my plan.
Well, before we get too emotional, the last thing I really want to ask you guys before we get into your last few songs is, I think it's pretty safe to say that Snooze is a well of creativity when I look at it on the outside. With all of this under your belt now, this whole record under your belt, what can we see or what could we expect to see from the future of Snooze?
I think so. We're it's largely the same process. I have like 4 or 5 different cool riffs that we're gonna all start working on. We have the run to Arctangent in a month, and after that we're pretty open. So I think that we're gonna start getting together, jamming, and working on these
down.
riffs, because we still haven't a couple of songs on the new record. Besides all the drums, like a couple of them have Dimitri and Mike's parts, because they were like the songs were kind of written late enough that they were like in the band already. But this next one is going to be all of us. It's going to be like a lot more of all of our collective influences, but largely kind of the same process. I'm going to be obsessing on the computer to write stupid drum parts for Alex, and
And then he's gonna make them even more
yeah,
stupid.
he's going to make them even harder.
I like how you guys say it's stupid, and for me, I'd have to like write a literal grid to follow what he's playing.
It is. It's on the grid. Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah.
Well, alrighty, guys. Let's hear the last couple songs.
Chesapeake, I discovered news to be and me to end. Happening, something you would never see. They would never let you see. They would never let you see.
Yay.
And alas, we have reached the end of Audiotree Live today. So you know what that means. It's time for some thank yous. So thank you to the camera crew here at Audiotree. Thank you to the audio crew here at Audiotree. Thank you to Snooze for the amazing performance today. And lastly, thank you to the viewers. You know the drill. If you like what you see, please make sure to subscribe to our channel here as we work really hard to make sure we get the coolest bands we can on the show. And feel free to leave a comment if you feel so inclined. You can check out this session right now on Spotify, Apple Music, every single streaming service known to man. Once again, my name is Jason, and thank you so much for your time. See you next time.